The Queen, dirt and air specialist. The Joker, this guy's sick, but that's why he's so good on a bike. And the Ace, the Flash of motorsports. You'll have to beat the times of these three guys in action-focused events. But this is still just our first meeting. Show them you're not here to bluff. Slightly damaged due to the vertical acceleration when landing after big jumps. Audi has reworked the... Oh boy, here we go again. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Audi has reworked the shock absorbers and chassis. This version is much safer. Well, as long as you don't land on the roof. By the sharp turn at the end. Introductions made, now time for action.
List, heading for Central Maui. Perform the actions requested and beat the time already set by the Ace, the Joker and the Queen. Those specialist drivers Betty was telling you about.
You have the courage to try the Diamond Fangs. I respect this. Or are you just risking it? Here we go. Now I show you my car from behind. the chief. I said if you beat me, I'll tell you what car he's driving. Right? Fair is fair.
Leave no playlist unfinished, driver. Here we go for the first action list. Heading for Central Maui. Perform the actions requested and beat the time already set by the Ace, the Joker and the Queen. Those specialist drivers Betty was telling you about. The Queen will drive before you do. She's Team Daredevil's dirt specialist. For the car, Red Bull lends you one that belongs to Force Rally Heritage, a legacy that includes the McRae's Focus in 1999, Hibonan's Fiesta in 2011, and so the car of the day, the 2017 Ford Fiesta WRC Double World Champion 2017-18 with Sébastien Ogier. Up and running. Take a look at her performance. It might inspire you. Here are the actions to perform. Drifting, target hitting, jumping on barns, wall riding. Perform them all and do it as fast as possible.
The Queen kicks off. Keep your eyes peeled. She's not bad at this game. That was really cool. The Queen is done. She looks confident. Now get ready. In 5 seconds, it's your turn. It's on. Show the crowd that you can beat the Queen in her own speciality. The rule is simple. Perform all the actions requested as quickly as possible. Again, smash all the targets you can. Targets or barn roof ahead. Your choice. Ride on some more barn roofs and you're in business. Bam! Bam! Boom!
beat it this time.
You can beat the Queen in her own speciality. The rule is simple. Perform all the actions requested as quickly as possible. Targets or barn roof ahead. Your choice. Ride on some more barn roofs and you're in business. Targets you can. It's on. Show the crowd that you can beat the Queen in her own speciality. The rule is simple. Perform all the actions requested as quickly as possible. Targets or barn roof ahead. Your choice. Ride on some more barn roofs and you're in business. Again, smash all the targets you can. Their game.
The whole thing out of the way, but you also beat the time of a specialist. That deserves a little beach break and a swim. Next event is between Oahu and Maui, a boat outrun between the Kaiwi Islet. Red Bull has even taken the liberty of building giant fans to propel you when you make jumps. It's untested technology. Sounds like it could be fun. Remind you of the rules of Outrun. Drive as fast as you can to beat the timer. Each door saves you time. If your timer reaches 0, the event stops and you'll have to start again. Good luck!
Aside for a marine adventure. Red Bull's strong connection to action on the water is nothing new. They are heavily involved in high-speed sailboat racing. It's like an Alpha GP race, but on the sea. They even race thunderboats at 200 miles an hour. That's pretty much what you're doing right now. A powerboat race where you have to fight against time. Let yourself be carried away by the current and the giant fans.
To Earth for the next checklist event. Well, quite. Does Robbie Madison ring a bell? He is a legend in the world of freestyle motocross. The guy has countless victories in freestyle competitions and broke jump records, like his 29.3-meter motorcycle jump on the replica of the Vegas Triumphal Arch. He's so good that he was even chosen as the stuntman for the world's most famous British spy. You're riding his bike, a KTM 450 with a Robbie Madison modification that won't go unnoticed. By the way, Becky did a podcast with Robbie Madison where he talks about his career. It's a fascinating listen. If you want to find it, go to the Sounds of Red Bull track list of your music player. Over there, on the docks. The Joker's already at work. As usual, if you perform the actions and beat his time, you gain his power. Just like in Highlander.
Told me that one of the heaviest moments of his life was riding this motorcycle on a 24-foot wave. On land or in the water, you can do anything with this machine. You can do wheelies, backflips, hit targets while jumping. It's freestyle motocross, so do all the freestyle tricks you can think of and smash the Joker's time. Bobby Madison. Give it another try. Told me that one of the heaviest moments of his life was riding this motorcycle on a 24-foot wave. On land or in the water, you can do anything with this machine. You can do wheelies, backflips, hit targets while jumping. It's freestyle motocross, so do all the freestyle tricks you can think of and smash the Joker's time. Straight. The Joker is out.
Perfect run. The Joker is renowned for being quite crazy, a rider who takes a lot of risk. But he found a rider even crazier than he is. One last interlude, and this one should please you. It's a drift race between asphalt and dirt. There's no score to reach, just a time to beat. Red Bull lends you another jewel, the Drift Brothers BMW M4 competition. The car belongs to Elias and Joe Hamtoggi, two German brothers, pro drifters who compete together. If you're interested in their story, check out the Sounds of Red Bull tracklist, where Eli Hamtoggi talks competition and burnt rubber with with professional drifter Connor Shanahan. Definitely the podcast to listen to if you want drifting tips.
I've been waiting for. Drifting is my thing, and on top of that, I know this M4 very well, having seen it shine in competition.
Mulligan!
Got two M4 models before they were even marketed and made two 1,000 horsepower drift machines for himself and his brother Joe. Enjoy it. It feels absolutely sick drifting with this monster.
Immortal in your path, perhaps the toughest, the Ace. The action list that awaits you is an AGP event, a Red Bull style. If you've ever seen a Red Bull video with an AGP drifting in the dirt, you'll know what I mean. We've taken the most modern model, RB20, and fitted it with rally tyres and slightly beefier suspension, just in case you need to jump it. Basically, it's an all-terrain AGP. So as well as being a muddy event, it's going to be really fast. I'll give you the action list to prepare you psychologically. High speed and precision driving, jumping, target hitting, and drifting. And of course, you'll have to beat the time set by the ace. Let's see if the guy lives up to his nickname.
The ace. He's not much of a talker, but he's quick and sharp. No one can argue with that. Damn, this guy is fast. Oh, yeah. Set the bar high, but that was to be expected. We gave you an AGP with a rally wheel set. It's precise, it can go anywhere at high speed, and with all that, it can jump.
Drivers on their own turf, in their own specialities, but apparently they haven't said their last word. They join forces for one last action list mixed event. Same rules as before, except that you'll go through 3 different disciplines. Once you've validated a vehicle's checklist, you move on to the next action list. On the program, motor surfing with Robbie Madison's KTM, followed by a racing car action list with the Ferrari 488 GT3, and to top it all off, an action list stunt plane. Don't worry if you're not used to planes, it can be intimidating at first, but you've proved you're crazy enough to tame an extra 300. It's your last wild ride, driver. Enjoy and show them who's the real daredevil in this playlist.
The Joker, the Ace, and the Queen get together for one last time. It's a full house. Event, so it's going to be a shaker. We start with the water bike. Airtime, targets to hit, and wall rides. You know the drill. Ferrari 488. That's the asphalt part. Near misses, targets, and all these actions at high speed. For the last action part. You'll have to be very precise in the air, flying under bridges, brushing against wind turbines. The Queen set her time. Beat it. acceleration driver. Kudos. This one will be hard to digest for the daredevils.
It's time to reap your reward. Your vehicle is ready for you to collect. So, daredevils, who's the boss now? Goodness me, I should be careful what I say. I have a feeling this isn't the last time we'll be meeting them. The new playlist a spin. New challenges unlocked. Leave no playlist unfinished, driver.
Hi boys and girls, Becky Evans here. I'm joining MotorFest for this new playlist, and I didn't come alone.
The clash of disciplines starts now. To get the full experience, check out Sounds of Red Bull, the new track list in the music player. What is next in line? We start this Red Bull playlist with a rally cross race. Let's see how the Ford Puma Hybrid will fare against other rally monsters, like the Audi Quattro, the Citroën C3, or the Focus RS. But before that, take a look at MotorFest, the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to MotorFest, the podcast. Here I get real with Red Bull athletes to tell us about the intensity of motorsports and... Welcome to the Red Bull Playground, boys and girls. Becky Evans here, improvising as the voice of the playlist. Ray Waller, the official voice of the festival, is bedridden. But don't worry, he'll be back soon. I'll be commentating on what you see, and don't blink because things are going to happen fast. Drivers are entering a tunnel for the first time. all-terrain race, just like this playlist, mixing all the disciplines of racing. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always wanted to say that. In my last podcast, Timmy Hansen explained how essential it is to gather enough speed, keep the nose up, and land flat for a successful jump. Woohoo! Looks like this one listened to the podcast. I see the Audi S1 EKS RX Quattro, the 2016 World Champion, has started in first position. But the big surprise, undoubtedly the Ford Puma Hybrid Rally 1, the brand's first electrified rally car. Boys and girls. Clash of disciplines. 2 disciplines, 2 paths. Choose your discipline and prove that it can set the fastest time. Becky, your turn. All right, boys and girls, I'm super excited because we get to see the Ford Puma. Now you know better than anyone what this machine is capable of. You're witnessing a real speed clash. The first one to the finish is the winner. Right now, the bike and the car are on the same course, but to keep things fair, they'll diverge onto separate routes, designed to let each vehicle work to its full potential. The course is about to split. Straight ahead for the car, right for the motorcycle. KTM definitely has the advantage of airtime. She's much better at jumping. But the Puma can deal with asphalt and is more reliable on straights. Both have their strong points. Which one will exploit theirs best? No matter the vehicle, dirt requires reflexes, but above all, instinct. Making the right choices quickly is the key to surviving the race. We've got our answer, boys and girls.
Moving on to asphalt vehicles. We start quietly, and I use big quotation marks, with a little warm-up ride on a racing bike.
To the podcast. Pay attention, boys and girls. This event can seem simple, but it's crucial for our driver. A time attack to test whether the driver can handle the next clash of disciplines. definitely not safe. The RC16 is a little marvel. We had to wait until 2017 to see the RB KTM factory join the competition. The brand has won everything in other competitions, so it was time to see them take on moto racing. Test passed. Now our driver can either play it safe and keep this vehicle or roll the dice with something unknown. It's an agonizing decision.
Clash of disciplines in sight. When a racing bike meets a racing car, it's a real battle for the asphalt.
For the next one, we'll... Ferrari meets Red Bull.
Radio Flash. Hear all the insights on the world of racing on Sounds of Red Bull, the official channel of motorsport.
Hey, boy. Drivers are focused. The start is imminent. Let's go! A full AGP race, using boost in the right place at the right time, will be decisive. Drivers are focused. The start is imminent. Let's go! A full AGP race, using boost in the right place at the right time, will be decisive. RB 13, 14, 18 and 20. 7 years of evolution from Renault to Honda engines. Between them, these four account for more than 70 podiums. Ultimate lap. Drivers, if you've got any extra nitro, now's the time to use it. that RB AGP just keeps getting better and better.
You've just discovered the RB20. You can keep it for what follows, but you can also opt for a vehicle that's a little less earthbound. The choice is yours.
This is the second time that Red Bull is loaning you the RB20. You'll start to make a Dutchman jealous. Unsurprisingly, the AGP has the advantage on startup, but once the plane is airborne, it's a different story. If you're a Red Bull addict, you'll probably know that this isn't the first time an AGP and a plane have been put on the same grid. Last time, it was in a straight line in a drag race. Here the plane will have to make very tight turns if it wants to keep up with the AGP, which is much more accustomed to doing so. That's really exciting! We enter the second lap. I'm sure you're familiar with the RB20 on the track today, certainly more so than its aerial rival. Stressed for 10G and capable of reaching 975 meters per minute, its size makes it the perfect aerobatic aircraft. Let's hope our pilot will give us a taste. They're neck and neck. Of turns is tricky. When it comes to speed, the AGPs play in a different division.
crash to close this Red Bull playlist. This one is big. Confronting two disciplines is not enough. So MotorFest and Red Bull are offering you the choice of three. Which is the best? Becky asked our Red Bull athletes what they think.
The Ford Fiesta replaced another Ford at short notice. The Puma missed weight. Who will cross the line first in this head-to-head race? Answer in, about a few minutes. The rally car has already changed its course to reach the dirt. Special route designed to match its strengths. The AGP stands out for its speed and braking quality, and of course it sticks to asphalt and is unbeatable in corners. So to make things fair, it will be racing the longest route. The bike's route, on the other hand, is shorter but ultra technical, forcing the rider to swing through the curves without losing speed. Between dirt and asphalt. That's its strength. In addition to its high acceleration, its all-terrain capability means it can compete with faster rivals. Is the longest. Everything can still change. Who's going to win the ultimate racetrack, the Speed War. Dirt proving stronger than asphalt, the rally car set the fastest time.
Make sure to get your vehicle reward, driver. End of speed clash. The first milestone in a promising relationship between Red Bull and MotorFest. I'm sure this is just the beginning. You've discovered a multitude of racing vehicles in this playlist, all of them motorsports gems. But we had to choose just one for the reward. We thought maybe you wouldn't mind having a Red Bull branded Ferrari in your garage. The Ferrari F48H GT3 FE Corse is just for you. A new playlist just opened up. Back to where we left off.